Welcome to Defiant Nation Radio, where we defy the narrative that our culture is feeding us. We defy the idea that the scriptures cannot be trusted, and we defy the idea that the God of the Bible does not exist. We defy the idea that we have evolved from monkeys. At Defiant Nation Radio, we uphold the solas of the Reformation. We uphold the scriptures. We believe that salvation is by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone. Defiant Nation Radio is the podcast ministry of EternityAtStake.com.
I did find those articles on Bill de Blasio, so I wanted to read them here real quick. This one was from Daily Wire. It says, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio goes full communist, chastises private property. In his interview with New York Magazine, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio offered some insight into his views and his tenure as mayor of the largest city in the United States. The interview, which seemed like an attempt to mitigate the mounting concerns about de Blasio's corruption and his constant virtue signaling, shed some light on one of his biggest pet peeves, which is private property. As you know, private property is the foundation, is supported from the beginning in the scriptures. The eighth commandment, thou shalt not steal. It's the beginning of capitalism right there. Kirby Anderson's got a great article on capitalism, socialism. I'll highlight that at some point in the future. But from the beginning, the Bible is capitalist. It's capitalistic through and through. Capitalism is the best biblical model for money and dealing with culture and things like that. And I know for some people right off the bat it's like, whoa, wait, what's going on? So we'll talk more about that in the future. But when asked by Chris Smith about his fight to reduce income equality and where it was hard to make progress, he said the following. What's been hardest, so this is de Blasio, what's been hardest is the way our legal system is structured to favor private property. I think people all over the city of every background would like to have the city government, the government, be able to determine which building goes where, how high it will be, who gets to live in it, and what the rent will be. Comrade de Blasio, what does this sound like? I think there's a socialistic impulse, which I hear every day in every kind of community, that they would like things to be planned in accordance with their needs. And I would too. Unfortunately, what stands in the way of that is hundreds of years of history that have elevated private property and wealth to the point that that's the reality that calls the tune on a lot of development. In other words, the article goes on to say, he slammed the concept of private property in order to pursue the communistic dream of government planning according to everyone's needs. This quote is attributable to Karl Marx himself, who popularized it in his 1875 essay, Critique of the Gotha Program. Here's Marx's quote in its entirety. He says, in a higher phase of communist society, after the enslaving subordination of the individual to the division of labor, and therewith also the antithesis between mental and physical labor has vanished, after labor has become not only a means of life, but life's prime want, after the productive forces have also increased with the all-around development of the individual, and all the springs of cooperative wealth flow more abundantly, only then can the narrow horizon of bourgeois right be crossed in its entirety, and society inscribe on its banners, from each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. Thank you, Karl Marx. We needed that instruction from you. And then there was one more. He was talking about wresting wealth from the hands of people who have it and redistributing it. If there's any question on his perspective, this is from Breitbart News. New York City's Bill de Blasio vows to wrest wealth from wrong hands and redistribute it. So obviously if you have wealth, those are the wrong hands. He pledged to redistribute money from the haves to the have-nots with a series of new initiatives. As a matter of fact, the other day I thought I mentioned that he said he wasn't going to sign the budget for the city until you could have abortion up until the point of birth. So this man is a wicked man, obviously. He is promoting, caring for, lifting up socialist, communist ideals that have never worked any time they've been tried. Never, ever, never, ever. And so just a little bit of add-on there I wanted to make sure you got from about de Blasio. So especially as we head into this the next 2 years when we're dealing with the cycle of presidential candidates and things like that. Some things to keep in mind. All right, have a great day.
If you're interested in learning more, preparing yourself better to witness, go to the website eternityatstake.com. We have several series on there. One of them is Maps from the Ancients. It covers manuscripts, archaeology, prophecy, science, and the resurrection. How do we know the Bible can be trusted? It's great for a homeschool study, great for a Sunday school class, great for an adult or teen class as well. We also have the Light Project, where I look at 8 cults and world religions, examining them. What do they do with God, with Christ, with the Bible, with salvation, heaven, hell, and things like that? Check it out today. Thanks for listening.